I really do not know how you've missed that. But there was a fucking ear on the floor. Why not give the finale an hour and a half?
Why wouldn't you?
Why are we seeing 45 minutes of... It's been a good series. I think it was definitely worth the watch.
Hello and welcome to Not So Real, the podcast with no headphones.
No headphones. We don't do headphones here. Sorry.
We've gotten rid of them.
Oh, they've gone.
Because
what crazy.
I've got an ear infection.
Yeah, well, and I just don't have an ear infection.
I mean, you don't, but we thought it would look weird if I have headphones and you don't have
if I
headphones.
did and Jack didn't, and that's just super fucking weird. So
pretty much.
Here we are. We've decided to just scrap it and just look sexy.
We feel
without
like
headphones.
this could go off topic quite quickly because we could just be having a chat now.
Yeah, of course.
This is what we do before the podcast starts.
Yeah, this
Headphones
is exactly
off,
what we do.
complete
And-
silence, cameras on. So we're not too sure
What is going on?
if it's going to work.
Where am I?
Anyway, welcome to Not So Real, the film and TV podcast about lots of film and TV projects. My name is Jack.
I'm Lee.
And we are talking about, for the last time, the last one.
Yes.
It's done. We've reached the end.
The last
I'm so
of
happy
us.
about it. It's been the longest journey ever. It feels like a relationship.
It feels very long, but at the same time,
does, doesn't
at
it?
least this isn't a
always
CW
feels
show,
long.
which is about
It
25
always-
episodes long.
It
so
always feels long.
you're welcome.
No complaints there. Always.
Right, but no, The Last of Us was good. What are you fucking doing? Right, but The Last of Us was good, right? The last two episodes was...
Should we sum it up now?
Was a banger.
Should we just...
Right, should we... Yeah,
Did
okay,
you
let's
think
talk
it,
about both.
Did you think
Far
it was
away.
good?
I'm
are
gonna
you
right.
satisfied with the end product? Before we even dive into it, do you think in one... let's do a one-word answer. Are you satisfied, yes or no? A question I always get asked.
Can I say two words?
Depends what they are.
Kind of.
Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it.
So yeah,
Oh,
my two
no.
words are kind of.
If HBO was sponsoring this, it'd have to be yes, but they're not. So we can
So
say
yeah,
that.
we can say what we
can
like.
say
Fuck
kind
you,
of.
HBO. Yeah.
No,
And for-
no,
oh,
no,
can't say that.
no,
Oh,
no.
Oh,
We like HBO.
oh yeah.
We
yeah.
did like The Last of Us. But
Kind
we're,
of.
We're
Fuck
only
you,
kind of.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so episode 8 is where we got to, which was an episode that I kind of imagined was coming.
Yeah, no, I think
didn't-
we all sort of knew it was coming. It was like it's in the games. It's coming this way.
So episode 8 starts with a town, a village. There is a priest. He's a priest, right?
Yeah, I think he's definitely a priest.
His name is David.
David.
Very simply, David is a priest, and he organises this town for survival within the apocalyptic world.
Yeah,
that
like
is
he's
The
like
Last of Us.
the sort of ringleader, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in charge.
And then like
It's a weird in charge though, isn't
yeah,
it?
it is.
Because doesn't he in the opening credits like slap the girl?
No. That's later on. That's when you find out later on he's a bit of a dick. Because obviously he's like talking to them first and about getting them food and stuff, and then later on the girl was like crying because her dad died.
And then he hits her,
And then he hit her, yeah, because she was crying.
and he's a
about it.
priest.
Yeah.
Isn't that against all the priesty things?
Yeah, but I think he's. I don't know what sort of priest he is, but clearly
Not a good one.
Not
No.
a good one. Especially if
He's
you're hitting children.
Not a very good one.
Anyway, but yeah, so he's kind of just like in charge of this group. So he's been like voted in as the leader of this group, and he has to like look after them. And
Hashtag Parliament.
hashtag Parliament, right? Well, this Parliament from David isn't very good. So yeah, he has been in charge of all like the supplies, all the food, everything else. And I think because he's like panicking because. It's hard to get shit in the.
Are you in
the
a zombie apocalypse and
yeah,
you're in charge
in
of a
the world.
town? How the fuck you can do that?
And then he ends up seeing and finding Ellie, doesn't he? Like
Yeah, so...
Also, just like a nice little thing I like to add in, the guy who played Joel, Troy, which is like the right hand man of the guy, is the voice actor of Joel. He's the voice actor of Joel.
guy that
So
gets a
they
machete
added,
in the neck.
yeah. Yeah, that was quite good actually.
That was quite
Spoiler
good.
alert, he gets
Yeah,
killed
sorry.
by a massive cleaver into his neck.
So, Joel is injured and in a house, and it's that bit in the game where I was I think the last episode we talked about The Last of Us, where I literally said, I'm annoyed they took it away from Ellie. They didn't give her the time to develop a character.
Yeah, and now
That's now happened.
Now it actually happened. They actually put it in there. Crazy.
Right,
Like,
and it was shorter than the game.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
there wasn't a lot of Ellie development, but it was quite an intense development.
you still had that, like character. You still had it in there. Like,
Yeah,
sort of sense.
you definitely learned a little bit more about her. I didn't think the episode before that actually did anything for this episode.
No, not
No,
really. It was
but-
more just setting up her, like, I don't know, like
It was just her growing up almost, isn't
Yeah,
it? Like, she's
like
always
some
been
sort of
protected by
backstory.
Joel, and she's always had Joel to fight her battles for her. And this one, Joel is literally like useless. He's on the floor dying, like so much for a protector. Ellie's now in control of dealing with her own situation, and the first thing is she needs medicine.
she supplies.
She needs stuff. She needs things to eat.
She needs that medicine. She needs some food. Joel's gonna die otherwise. What does she do? She goes out in the wilderness.
She takes a gun.
I can show you the world. And then, she
goes-
takes the gun and
she
decides.
goes deer hunting.
Yeah, well, she goes and tries to get some food. Yeah, basically try and like nurse Joel back to health.
And you also see her like use the skills that Joel's taught her, like since her growing up, because she's actually like lining
She's
up
acting
in a
more
sight.
like Joel, which is
Yeah.
like, sort of like the father-daughter thing that's like sort of always going on.
She's kind of
sort
becoming
sense.
him,
Yeah,
don't you
a
think?
little- I think
And
so,
the
yeah.
attitude towards other people, because at the beginning she was quite, open, welcoming arms, and like with the two brothers back in episode 4, when the little boy got bitten.
Yeah.
She was always like, "Oh, come and join. I'll talk to you. I'll look after you." In this one, she saw humans and was like, "Fuck off."
Yeah,
I've
like
got a
she's-
gun.
I think she's so scared of like losing somebody again. Shows the relationship between her and Riley, and because of that, like she doesn't want to lose Joel, so she's like pretty like nervous, pretty scared. She's like putting her back up to everyone, and obviously that's what's happened when she met them.
Let's kick off, right? Let's go straight into the situation of... Did you see the plot twist coming?
Well, yeah,
Yeah?
but like you could see there was something that was off, right? Like,
So the plot twist is this community that looks perfect.
looks fine.
It looks
right?
out- it looks completely
great.
normal.
They're definitely not eating people.
No.
No,
They're definitely
No.
out looking for deer
crazy.
all the time.
Desperate times, desperate measures.
Because they were definitely walking up the hill where the deer was to go to the building where they keep all the bodies that they're hiding.
Yeah.
You saw it coming though, right? There was something
Yeah,
off.
I think you could tell that the priest wasn't really a good one.
He wasn't holy.
To be honest, you could see it. You could see it coming from a mile off, and I think there's also as well like it was in the games too. So like if you played the game,
See,
you
I
know.
forgot this.
But like, well, then you're stupid. No, I'm joking. But what I'm saying is, but it's quite suspicious that obviously they've got like meat that's come out of nowhere, and they're supposed to be having nothing left, and then they're eating these meals. So then you look and you're like, what the fuck's in these meals then?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see bodies hanging up. You can put two together.
Because they literally say, we've got nearly nothing. And
Yeah.
then they serve up like a plate of meat for
Yeah.
the chefs. And they go, what is this? And they go, well, deer. And you're like, have you caught it like 3 weeks ago? Is it left over from last time? Like, where has it come from?
They just don't question it, and they just because he's
And they
like,
just cooking it.
in control. Because he's like the person in control, they just don't question it, and they're just
No.
like letting him get on with it. But then again, then now I think the priest sort of saw an obsession with Ellie. I think to basically.
I don't know what that was.
It's
though.
more, I think it was more of like a sort of like maybe a bit like to sort of have her as his own daughter or capture her, or maybe like more. You know what I mean? Like creepy old men. You know what they get like. So it's a bit, but you know. And then obviously that's the whole obsession of that. And then they obviously try and find where Joel is and to kill him, probably for more meat, so they could
See,
use
I
that
thought-
for eating.
I thought they were going to have Ellie and just think, Tuesday dinner sorted.
No, she. Well, I think he saw her as more of like a side by side. Oh, she seems like a daughter sort of thing, or someone to control. Basically, like it's a bit creepy. He played it very well, but again, I just want to say, like, I think just Joel was a fucking badass. Like,
Yes.
I just
explain this part. You've been waiting to.
I've been so waiting to explain this, Jack. Right, the fact of so Ellie's like, they've come after Joel, right? They're like, look, we got to come after Joel. Like, we know that he's injured. They're probably going to use him for some more meat in the fucking freezer, right? And
they would. I don't think they would.
I think they would.
No, because they would.
They needed more meat. I know they've had people eating people already, but more meat's more meat at the end of the day. It's less one person out of their group. So
like, Joel had been stabbed and was lying on the floor. Ellie was trying to make him feel better, and then Ellie found these people. They kind of sussed out that Ellie was with another man called Joel, and Joel had previously killed one of the people's friends in this group. And so when they figured out where Ellie was hiding, they basically went to hunt her, didn't they? So after they had the whole deer exchange where Ellie's gone, have half my deer and I'll have some medicine. Once that exchange happened, she legged it so she didn't get shot at, ran all the way back in the snow, leaving footprints to where they were hiding. And then moments... Genius idea.
Genius girl.
She's so grown up. And then after she went back into hiding, they then got their whole posse out and come up to where...
Sorry, what did they get out?
Posse.
Yeah, all right.
That one, yeah?
Yep.
Do you want...
Yep.
Posse.
Yep, I heard you. Yeah.
C.
Like, that's not the sort of show I was like, you
No?
know. Yeah.
Don't associate a posse
No.
and The Last of Us?
No, I don't really, but anyway.
I mean, normally you fight in posses.
Go on, Jack, just carry on.
So they get the posse out,
Hey!
and they go to the village where they believe and know Ellie and Joel are hiding. Ellie's like, I'm going to lead him away. And then she gets on the horse, gets shot on the horse, gets captured. We'll get to that bit in a minute because that was fucking phenomenal acting from her. But then Joel is basically now, your own Daddy P.
Daddy P, yeah. So, Daddy Pascal,
he just proves he's a warrior, doesn't he, really?
Mate, yeah. The fact of, like, she was like, look, if anyone comes in, just kill them. And they all come down, they're trying to kill. He's literally just taking them out one by one like he's some fucking rogue assassin. Like, this man's just legendary stature. Like, this man cannot be killed.
Never.
This man is a legend in the making, torturing these people to try and find where Ellie is, as well. Like,
it was so graphic.
Yeah, just like amazing acting from Pedro. Like, incredible stuff.
The fact that I remember saying Ellie feels invincible, right? Joel has always felt like the trustworthy one. I wasn't too sure if he was coming back from that.
Yeah.
Like when the guy had to remove, I think it was the wardrobe from the blocked door so he could get down the stairs and get to where Joel was resting. And you could hear it coming on, sitting there like, he ain't getting up, is he?
He's fucked now.
I was like, he hasn't even moved, he hasn't even
Daddy
blinked.
P ain't gonna have that.
And then he rolls over.
It's like, boom.
He gets up, and you're like, fucking, where? I was like, where the fuck has he gone? I was like, and there's no... I was sitting there like, right, he's hidden. Like, that's it. He's just hidden. And if he can get out of the house and maybe walk through the village and use houses as cover, then he'll find his way back.
This
He'll
man is
get to
impaled
Ellie.
and he still ends up killing people. This man is legendary status. That's
and
what it
the
is.
interrogation scene, fuck me, he puts a knife through someone's kneecap. I was holding my own knee,
Yeah.
and I could hear the little rips and
The
everything.
thing is, he said,
beautiful.
like, I think it's so brutal, and it just shows the caringness of what Pedro would do for Ellie. The fact of, like, he cares about Ellie, and the fact that this guy has already told Pedro, well, Joel, that where their camp is, and then he still ends up killing him anyway. And then the other guy's like, "Oh, you've just killed him when you said you wouldn't. I'm not going to tell you anything." And then he goes, "Well, I believe your mate," and then kills him. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's so brutal because he cares about Ellie so much to the point like nothing matters, nothing else matters. It just ends up killing anyone and everyone to
anyone
make sure
that's going to stop him from getting to Ellie.
Yeah, which
dying.
Again, we can talk about episode 9 of it. But talk about the horse.
The horse. So Ellie gets on the horse and decides the only way to get out of this is to lead them away from Joel. Not the best plan because I don't really want Ellie. They have no idea who Ellie is and anything about her arm until much later on. And the horse she just rides in plain sight, gets shot down by one of the members of the posse, and gets taken and captured because she is knocked out
Yeah.
to a kitchen. And there's a cage in a kitchen. And now that I think about it, the cage is in the kitchen because they used to put all the humans in there that they would chop up.
Bloody hell, well done, Jack.
I only just made that link
Oh, yeah.
right now on the podcast.
Yeah.
And that was what it was for. Because the thing is, I didn't realise that. I didn't know they were eating humans in that bit. I was watching that like, oh, okay.
So
maybe
when you saw
this
the
is...
ear on the floor, was that a big
Where
indication?
where was the ear on the floor?
The ear on the floor?
Where?
There was an ear. That she saw the ear, started screaming, and then he went, "Oh, you weren't supposed to see that."
I missed that part.
What the? So you didn't see how she found out?
No.
Because she found out because there was an ear on the floor.
No, I thought she just made a random connection, and I was like,
No.
oh, that makes sense.
No,
you know?
no.
That makes
There was
sense.
somebody's ear on the floor.
How did
Do you
I
think
miss that?
she went? Now I know this one. Let me have a thing. Ear on the floor, blender, blood, and meat next to it.
I didn't know.
Oh, they're baking cakes. Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I didn't see the ear, and then when she said it, I was like, that makes sense. It did. I literally went, it didn't look like deer in that pot they served.
Yeah.
I was like, it looked a bit too chunky to be venison, but you know, sweet. And then when she said it, and then I saw the huge, like, the little wooden chopping up board thing and the fucking cleaver, I was like, oh yeah, look at that. And I was like, oh, she's made sense of it. Because I thought she was being really harsh. Like breaking his finger.
She saw an ear on the floor. Just to clarify, I don't know how you've missed that. I really do not know how you've missed that. And there was a fucking ear on the floor.
Oh no. Oh my god, I'm glad you watched it. 'Cause I'm a bit
She didn't just
fucked.
look at the ear and go, do you know what? They must be playing really, like, you know, they must be playing games or something and they keep chopping off their ears. Crazy. No, they'd never eat them. No.
I mean, the ear would be the worst part. If anything, you do want the thigh. So, you know.
Oh. Fine. Yeah, it's a big chunk of meat.
It's
Isn't
a big chunk. I don't think human would taste that bad. But anyway.
Send help. send all the help you
I'm
can.
just going to go to
If I come back to the pod next week with no ear, right? Jack's trying to eat me.
I'm just going to the kitchen. Going to the kitchen.
Is it,
you know anything in the kitchen?
you know you can't eat humans, right? Yeah, is that you know that? Yeah.
Do you need both ears?
Both ears. Can you hear me? Turn around.
Can you hear me?
Turn around. Look at the other ear. You ain't got that one now.
Can you hear me?
You fucking hear me?
But I didn't make that connection because I am dumb. But as soon as like she broke his finger, and I was like, "Fuck, this girl's going for it." And then that
Yeah.
acting where she was like moving from every part of the cage to not be near him, like he's back up against the wall. I was literally like,
It's such like
symbolism. She's trapped.
what they did was well, like if it was very tense that whole like last
Yeah.
15 minutes as well. It was like so tense and it was very like very well done.
Oh, it was
I think.
amazingly
Yeah,
well
like
done.
I think they built the tension up. You made him feel like a proper bad guy, like you know, like he was proper evil. Like he was chopping up people. Wanted basically to get with Ellie, basically.
Yeah, I
even though she was like
feel like there was a little bit.
14, 15 or
When
whatever
you
she
say
is.
get with, I feel like it was a little bit more paedophilic.
Yeah, it felt
you know
a
what I
little
mean?
bit like it. And
I didn't feel like she was safe.
yeah, no, not at all. And at the end of the day, she had every right to break his fucking fingers and try and escape. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
fucking would.
mean, oh, God,
I
yeah.
fucking would.
Absolutely.
And then obviously that's where obviously, you know, the whole place decides to burn down. And,
Well, so she gets taken out of the cage and put on this chopping board. Because they eat the humans, don't you know? And if
you'd know about that, Jay, wouldn't you?
and then
cannibal.
I was honestly sitting there like, wow, she might be a bit fucked. Because how was she going to get out of that?
Yeah.
And you had two people, him with a cleaver, somebody else holding her down, like shoulders down. You got to think, this is like, what, a 12, 13-year-old girl? I was like, there is no way she's coming back from this. And then suddenly she pulls out the "I'm infected" card, shows him the wrist, and he like slams, amateur move, slams the thing down. And I just thought that he would like take her neck. Do you know what I mean? Like go infected, whack, dead.
Yeah.
But out of anger, because I think he kind of loved her weirdly, obsessively,
Yeah.
oddly, borderline get a restraining order.
Yeah, very much so.
Put it like next to her ear, and then like just carried on kind of talking, and she just like whack.
Fucking too right, girl. Like,
Whack.
she should be whacking them. Like, fucking
And
trying
like
to kill her.
straight in the neck, and I was like,
Troy
what?
went down like a sack of potatoes.
That was a great
Right,
death.
that Joel is dead now.
That I mean,
Voice acting Joel is dead.
he died amazingly.
He done very well in the episode. I liked his acting. He did a very, very good job.
For what we saw of him, he died amazingly.
Yeah, he died with much dignity.
And then
With a clean for his neck.
she escapes. He's got a gun. They go into the bit where you see at the beginning of the episode where they're like sitting around and he is, this perfect priest.
Yep.
And it's like his world is burning down. Everything is burning down. There's no escape for Ellie. And I was like, it's made of windows, right? I did think that. They're like, there's no escape. I was like, there's windows everywhere. Just throw something at them.
Just like,
But there was this whole tense scene of him still maybe trying to lure Ellie in. I feel like if Ellie had gone out and gone, I will do whatever you say, even in that moment, he would have gone, yeah, okay, we can be together. But she just proved she's an absolute animal.
yeah.
Like, what an animal. And even after, she has changed. That hug with Pedro Pascal right at the end, she looked
Considering when they
mortified.
first met to where they are now, they've
100%.
very much built that relationship quite well, and I think that it was a nice episode to have. I think they definitely needed that episode. I think it was from the games and stuff. I think they've done it very well. I think they're very good. I think episode 9 is more like. I did like episode 9, but more of the problems in my head anyway.
I think 8 was actually one of my favourite episodes.
It was definitely one of mine.
It
I'd
was
say for
so
sure.
perfectly written to have this ability for Ellie to like move away from Joel and to have like
Yeah.
her own problem, because ultimately paralysing Joel paralysing Joel meant Ellie now has to fend for herself. It's like moving out.
If you know the games and you know the story, this is more of what is to come, because if you do know, Joel's not going to be around too much in season 2. So anyway, should we move to episode 9?
I didn't play number 2. So I don't know what happens.
I'm not going to spoil it for you, mate.
Am I going to have to watch number 2?
When we watch season 2, right?
Oh, for God's sake.
Jack is going to.
I've come to work today to find out that Joel dies. Have I? Oh, that's just annoying, isn't it?
I haven't said anything.
That's
Can
just
we talk
annoying.
about episode 9?
Yeah, I think
before
we
we
should.
talk about season 2 and what's going to happen
Anyway,
there.
season 2, Joel dies.
Well, yeah. Anyway, episode 9. Anyway, can we talk about episode 9 now? Is that okay? Is that all right? Can we just?
Oh, but I love him.
Yeah, so do I. But that's not the point. Like,
Oh, but I love him.
if they could change the story,
He's
I
such
fucking
a-
would. That's why, like, a lot of people didn't like part 2 in the games. The first one was critically acclaimed, but 2 was okay. They
First
killed
one was
off Joel.
amazing, but Joel's fucked himself, so now let's go right down the
But again,
shitter.
it's all Ellie. It's all about
Do you think
Ellie.
it will
It's
go
her story.
down the old shitter into season 2? Normally it does.
It might or it might not. I think with season 2, I think it's either going to be a hit or a miss. I think if they're following the stories, Pedro Pascal is gone. Like they do whatever they're leading up to, and he will die.
Do you know what
'Cause
Ellie though?
it's a part of the story of the second game, so he will die. So and that will either be a good thing, and a lot of people will follow Bella Ramsey with the rest of the story, or it's going to lose that person that a lot of people are watching it for and the acting for it, and it will just dip. So it can be a very big hit or miss.
Is Bella Ramsey strong enough as an actress by herself to support the whole of season 2 Last of Us?
I think there's potential, but I don't know until we see it.
So
That is my issue. Like, a lot of people had a lot of problems with the episode with her and Riley.
yes, but is that more narrative than acting?
Very true, actually. I do agree with that.
Because
yes.
in episode 8, she was like Oscar worthy.
yeah,
like that was
this is what I'm saying.
beautiful.
To you. Like, it could work, or it could not. And I think a lot of that episode was probably foreshadowing of what she can do on her own without Pedro. So
But
it's leading people up to that.
The other thing I think there is, are you going to lose a lot of your audience? I would imagine core audience for this is going to be like, you know, people our age, people that have played the games and gone. Oh,
But then
I
you've
love
got a lot of
this.
people as well that have watched Walking Dead and their characters die every other 20 seconds.
That is true, but they're a lot
very-
older. Like Bella Ramsey, her character Ellie is meant to be like 12, 13, 14. So how do you identify with somebody if you're...
Well, in the second game, she's
24.
supposed to be grown up. She's supposed to be older.
But they're not going to recast.
No, they've said that. But then I think if they're going to do this, then I feel like they need to wait a couple of years until she is older.
Yeah, like
That's
how old
personally,
is she
I
now?
think, for me.
18. She might need to be in like at least 24.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Because
Or
she's got to
maybe she
look
needs to
her
be
age
in
as
her-
well.
Maybe in her 20s. I think I'd say so. She's got to look like she's, you know, well, the age gap between what season 1 is and season 2 is because there is a jump between the games too.
Is there?
Yeah, there's a jump. So she's older than in the second game than she is in the first one. So that's why they said they weren't going to recast her, because if they were supposed to, like the right way of doing it, if they were supposed to, she's supposed to be older.
So almost like...
So I would have said, I
Growing
would
it
say
with her.
wait a few years, but then if you do that, you're going to lose attention. Loads of people will just lose attention of it.
Oh, no, you know what? I think it's different now. I think people just want to wait. If I know The Last of Us is going to be this good again,
Yeah.
and you said to me, look, Bella Ramsey, episode 8 is the reason why we're going to keep her on and we're not going to recast.
It's fair enough. Like she's a great actress, but you're going to get a lot of people that are watching it for Pedro and turn around and be like, "Oh, I don't want to watch it no more."
I mean, everyone's watching for Pedro and potentially
Pedro's a
Bella at the
great
same
actor.
time.
It's like every TV series he's been in, it's been incredible. Like, like if you want a hit TV series, you fucking hire Pedro Pascal.
The Mandalorian,
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, he was in
I think he was
this
in
as well.
Was he Narcos as well?
He was in
Yeah,
Narcos,
that's
I
what I'm saying
believe.
to you. He was- yeah, like insane. He's an insane actor, especially in series. Like, fucking shove him in there, but you're going to put him in Last of Us, whatever, and you end up taking him off. It's a big risk.
Is
Big character.
episode 9.
Right, this is where
We had-
I
we had
feel
a
like you're not
sm-
going to like me, Jack.
We had a small text exchange on episode 9. A tiny little one. We don't normally, but because we knew we were going to wait maybe 2 or 3 weeks before we were going to review it, we thought we'd have a little bit of the old discussion on the old Instagram. I did not like it.
I didn't either, Jack. And I think we both sort of come to that sort of stage where I think it was good and it looked good, but it just felt rushed. For me, it felt rushed. I played the games, everything else, but they could have done a lot more with 10 episodes. If they had 10, and I don't understand why you couldn't have had 10. Obviously, it's a big risk having a video game as a season, like as a series, because they don't usually do well.
No.
But I think it needed 10. It needed that extra episode of where it just felt very much like they had the bit with a giraffe. Was that the same episode
Yeah.
with a giraffe?
Yeah.
Like, that was a real giraffe, by the way.
It
Fucking
was.
mental. I was like looking at it like I'm in a fucking zoo right now. Like, so they've had this giraffe. They've built this connection of like Joel looking quite desperate of like. He's like basically saying he'll do anything for Ellie. They've shoved him in, basically told him this information straight away that, like we said on the episode, right? That they're going to dissect her. They're going to kill her, right?
Yeah.
And
Because it was brain related, wasn't it?
yeah, so
it wasn't her blood cells, it was her brain.
This backstory in the past of how Ellie was actually born is the fact of like when she was just about to like be born or whatever, her mum got bitten, right? And the mother was also played by the original actor who played Ellie in the games. Fun fact.
How cool.
And yeah, it's sick, right? And they actually got like the fact that she's the mother of Ellie, like that means like symbolism wise, like because she basically is Ellie and is carrying that seed on to Bella Ramsey, and I think that's cool symbolism. I kind of like that, and it showed like how she actually was immune to it and everything else. I thought that was a pretty cool backstory and how she knows Marlene and how like family orientated, like you know, like
It
family
brings
is
Marlene into the picture.
into
a
the
little
story,
bit.
which I did like that. That was a cool start, but I think it just felt rushed from the point of her being in the place where they were going to dissect her, from Joel just absolutely having a killing montage of killing everybody, which he would have done, right? He would have done, yeah. And obviously in the games he does do that too, but it just felt like very much like they gave him a gun. They got him to shoot a couple of people and then just kept like showing him doing little montage bits of him just killing all random people, where I would have liked to have seen him like have this sort of, I don't know, like like mental think of everything else and go in there and like have a massive like even like a 15-minute like shootout with different people and stuff. I would have loved to have seen that.
I think
Like-
there was this. So basically, the breakdown of the episode really quickly is you start by seeing the birth of Ellie and Marlene taking Ellie away and raising her. Hence why at the beginning she's in a chain, because they figure out that she is infected, but they're not too sure if she's ever going to turn because it is in her blood. By the way, just off topic, very quick birthing scene. Did you not think? I don't know if the stress of a zombie got Ellie out quicker.
Maybe. I think that she had to get her out because she didn't want her to. I don't know. I don't really know
I think,
how.
yeah, I don't know how it works
You know,
either. I did just
I've
think,
never had
wow,
a baby in my life.
that is an Amazon.
So I can't say nothing.
It's an Amazon Prime delivery. That was quick.
Amazon Prime delivery.
I think she
Get it out as quick as she could so
Yeah.
she could try and protect the baby.
Because she knew the
Because if
zombie
she-
was coming.
Yeah, if she gets bitten and she's like ends up having the baby, like, I
She's
don't
then
know
got to
about
somehow defend the baby and herself from a zombie, and it was a very quick scene, and you instantly just went, "Oh my god, there's a baby,"
Yeah.
and then you made the connection of she's been bitten. The actual umbilical cord is still connected, so thereby the actual fungus is going to be inside this kid, and you go, "Oh, Ellie."
Yeah.
And then obviously she names her
So it
Ellie.
makes a
That
lot-
bit I got, the ear I missed, but that bit I fucking got, didn't I?
You fucking missed the ear.
Fuck's sake.
But it just sets up like how now Ellie is immune to it. Like so, obviously, if you're going to get immune, you have to be born immunity of like this sort of like in your blood of whatever like when you're being born.
Yeah.
So obviously,
You can't be given immunity in blood.
No.
It has to be a
has
natural.
to be taken away or whatever.
It's a
sort of
natural
thing it
occurring
is. So
thing.
they could have dissected her and got this cure for the world, but Joel was just not going to let that happen.
No. So you then skip from that scene. You end up following Ellie and Joel on their journey still as they approach the city and they go walking through the streets. Oh my god. It goes black. They've been knocked out by random people.
Yeah, crazy.
Joel wakes up in a hospital bed with no handcuffs on, no nothing, just on a hospital bed, and Ellie's nowhere to be seen. That is the worst transition I think there's been in the entire
yeah, I just
series. It was just like walking, chatting, bang. Oh my god, I'm in a bed. Do you know when like a story ends and they say,
And
it was all a dream? And you're like, what's that about?
I felt like they got green lit about 45 minutes for the last episode and then decided to rush things. And I do not get it. Like I don't get it at all. You've got other episodes in this series that are like an hour and a half. Like episode 3, right? Nothing to do with the actual main story of Bill and Frank, right? Still a great story, but nothing to do with the actual plot point of the story really going forward.
No.
Right? Why not give the finale an hour and a half?
Why wouldn't you?
Why are we seeing 45 minutes of a critically acclaimed series, right? Which it was the best game of the year in like 2015. Like you're telling me it wasn't going to be a good fucking series, and you're telling me you're leaving the finale in a 40 or 50.
43 minutes.
Sorry, 43 minutes.
40.
Are you joking?
But
You've got an hour and a half on other episodes, and you're giving 43 minutes to the final episode. I just think it's a bit of a joke. Like I understand that's their vision for it, but it felt rushed. It felt undeveloped.
It felt
still
like-
had all the elements of what the game had, and even the ending as well, stripped from the game. It was very much mirrored to the game, and fair enough. That's what you want because it's good. But it just, if you played the games and if you've seen the whole story there, you look at it and you feel a bit disappointed.
Yeah, because there was no story as to really how they got Ellie and Joe into the hospital. It was just, oh, they didn't recognise that it was you. Fuck off.
Yeah.
You've got snipers on the roof. What do you mean? Why didn't you just see that whole thing where like they surround them, they take them in, and Joel's like, Marlene sitting there in front of them, and she's like, "What's going on?" And she explains that actually we've got a dissector.
Yeah.
Ellie's quite resistant, or maybe not resistant. Maybe she's going, "Well, my life to save 4
Ellie
million."
doesn't even know, does she?
Well, this is the thing. You don't really know she doesn't know because you just assume.
No, but she doesn't. She doesn't. And in the end, that's why she asks Joel, like, was that actually the truth or what she said to her? Because she didn't know. She just thought, oh, they're just taking some of the blood.
Well, this
I'll
is
go
it.
under. That's all that Marlene was going to say to her because...
you don't know what was said to her before she gets put under. You don't know if she was lied to. What if they turn around to
No,
her?
because she would have remembered beforehand. There's no way. Like she did not know what she was going into from killing her by doing it.
Yeah,
she
but-
didn't know. Because Joel was like, after obviously finding out all this and then going on a murderous rampage of killing every fucking body in that, like, in the Fireflies, because he wanted to protect Ellie, that she turned around and was like, what actually happened? What I know is that I went under for this operation, and because Joel has lied to her now and said, like, look, like, they don't obviously need you anymore for, like, your blood and all that.
Yeah, they've found so many other people.
They've
that
found
have your
so many
blood.
people that have, like, the things that they need. Like, they don't need you. And
And it didn't work or
if
something.
and I think Joel knew if Ellie knew to die to save, like, everyone, she would do it.
Yeah, of
And
course she
that's
would.
why he is lied. Because she knows Ellie's got a good enough heart to do that, but Joel doesn't want to see her die like her daughter.
No.
So he's done it for a selfish reason. But he's trying to save her life. He wants to be like, you know, have a good life with Ellie and, like, treat her like his daughter as Ellie sees
It's his
Joel.
second chance now.
I think so, yeah.
That's
I think
why
it's his
I
second
think-
chance of having basically a daughter again and him redeeming himself, but then at the same time, like, to save all of humanity, he's kind of cost humanity of having its chance of, like, being healed by cordyceps.
Yeah, but it's a price he's now willing to take.
Yeah, and
isn't
that's
it?
what he's done. Like, especially as well,
How-
like,
how
right,
much?
right at the end as well, like, where Ellie's like turns around and goes, "Are you telling me the truth? Like, promise me that it is." And he's just like, "Yeah, it is the truth. Like that's what's happened." And we all know that he's lying to her, and it's such a big, like, oh, and then it ends, and the season just ends there, and it's like a big, oh, fucking hell. But then I feel like that would have been more effective if they had more time. I think it felt so rushed.
Yeah, but as you said, who said 9 episodes? Who literally went, oh, you know what?
You could have done it in
Let's-
9. To be fair, you could have done
let's
it in 9
stretch it.
episodes. I would have preferred 10, but with this episode, and I think it's an important episode. It's such an important episode. The first and the last episode are the most important. I think they've done the start so well. They've done the start so well, and, like, that first episode was incredible. Like, it's my favourite episode. Like, if I'm trying out of all of them, it's number 1 and 8, right? My favourite episodes. 9 would have been, and I love the ending, but it was just rushed. They just needed to slow it down, have more time on it, and I felt like it would have been better.
I think about the narrative. Because Joel just doing what Joel does. Because there was no development in Joel after quite a long time. 1, 2, 3, 4. The only development really there was, like, he decided to hate Ellie less. And then 5 and 6 and 7, it was like all family stuff, you know, a little bit of family. Can we go and get his brother back? All that kind of crap. And then Joel just does Joel things. In 8, what did he do?
Nothing. He was...
Murder people.
But then
In 9, what did he do? Murder people.
I think with 9 you get, like, an emotional dump of what Joel's actually, like, been hiding for so long. He's sort of like, he's coming out his shell a bit more, and he's feeling vulnerable with Ellie now, because it's like he's treating her like his daughter, and, like, he's not felt that feeling in so long since, and he's hidden himself away, and he's been mean, he's been horrible, and now he's, like, being open with her, telling her things that he hasn't told anyone before, and being really open. You got that character development there, and you can see the sort of vulnerability from Joel in this last episode, like, really, like a desperation sort of sense to save her, and desperate to keep her about. And I think that's got portrayed very well, but I think they are very much setting up this being Ellie's story, and which is going to very much lead on to season 2.
She's definitely going to find out.
Yeah, probably.
100%. She's going to...
Maybe.
Because then there wouldn't be any relationship development between them in the next season.
You
Look,
will
I already know it.
never
I already know it. I haven't seen it, and I know it's going to happen.
Anyway,
Something's going to happen,
I'm not saying anything, but
and
what I will
they're going
say
to divulge the story.
is the last question I'm going to say to you. I think both episodes were good. I am worried for season 2, only because if it's a hit, it's fine. It might be even better than the games, but only if they do it well.
I think it's going to be harder. A lot harder.
But they've set up the story now. I think they've set up the setting ground, like the ground of it, or the groundworks. They've also said they're going to put more sort of more zombies in it.
Yeah,
which is
didn't
quite
really
nice
see
to
a
see,
lot of
'cause
zombies
no,
in it,
'cause
really,
was
to be
more
fair.
Like you had 9 episodes to explore some of this, but you saw it not as much as you think you would.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to be about like, surviving and stuff, but it's been more about people. It's more been people stories over the last couple of episodes or so at least. You've had like inklings of these sort of zombies coming in, but the last couple of episodes, I didn't see any of them. I forgot I was watching something in a fucking zombie world.
Especially like when in 8 they went out into the woods, I was like, oh, zombies. And then actually, but it was too cold for them, wasn't it? That's what they said. It's too cold for zombies to exist out in the forestry and where the snow is.
Yeah.
But then even in 9, in a city centre, I was like, zombie action? Nope. And it didn't feel like by the end you were maybe mass
I think
zombies.
a lot of people might have complained about like not seeing as much in there, because even if it's like Ellie's just sneaking around a couple of them or something, or this or that,
something.
or anything like that, like at the end of the day, I think you still need that aspect of when you've got these episodes going on, that there's still that threat out there that like for example, like someone shooting the horse in episode 8, like that might attract attention.
It might attract a zombie.
Like you've still got that massive threat. I think they very much have built up people being a massive threat too now. Obviously with all of this all going on. But
do you know I didn't miss the zombies though? I think that was the weird thing. I didn't.
I did though. I think that's why I think they got addressed, that they're going to put more in season 2, because I think a lot of people were like, where are these? Because they're supposed to be a big part of this game.
You would have figured out a way,
series.
I think, in 6-7 months to live in that kind of world, which is what I thought was always weird about The Walking Dead. They never figured out a sustainable, good, easy way to live in a world of zombies. If we had a zombie apocalypse right now, to that extent, it was called cordyceps, it was spread by actually getting infected. If we had 6 months, I'm pretty sure I could find a way to live where they weren't really affecting my life. Do you know what I mean?
You could try, but it might just you might do that for 6 months, and then something happens, and then you've got to move, and then you've got to do that
but
all
look
again.
at Bill and Frank.
You never know. But yeah, like that worked for them.
I feel like
But
there should have been more zombies attacking Bill and
if
Frank.
they were our age, they'd be fucked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, they were a bit older than us, and they could sustain it. But like, if it was going on for like 50 plus years, I think they would have been fucked.
But there was definitely, at Bill and Frank's, there was more room for zombies, because it was just humans attacking them. And then even
Again,
none of the traps went off.
It's a very human sort of TV series compared to what Walking Dead is. And I think like a lot of people would be used to that, and a lot more seeing all of that. But this is very more human connected stories, and how it is people living in apocalypses and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's just say this. I think both of the episodes were good. I think 8 was definitely better than 9. I think 9 was good, but I think it could have.
Yeah, 9 wasn't a bad ending, but it could, if it had maybe even an extra 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I think I would have been more satisfied with it.
I think so.
But I would watch it again.
Yeah.
I'd put it on the bucket list.
It's going on there. It's been a good series. I think it was definitely worth the watch.
No, I'm joking. It was.
No.
It was. Thank you for listening to Not So Real, the film and TV podcast.
So next week we're going to talk about Paw Patrol, the series. No, I'm joking. No. The whole of Paw Patrol, series 1 to 10.
I've seen most of those. Don't even joke about it. I probably could do that.
Oh God.
Anyway, next week we're talking about a film that's only just come out that we saw a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we did. Oh.
It's called
Dungeons and Dragons.
See you in a week.
Among Thieves.